What's up guys, RC Syndicate here, and today we need to make some big changes to this Class 1. Stay tuned. What's up guys, I hope everyone's doing great. We have a lot to talk about, we got a lot of things to cram in this video. Let's go and get into it. If you guys haven't seen the video where my buddy Matt and I take this particular rig and he takes his TRX4 out and we run a comp line that we have, I'll post a video up here so you guys can check it out. In that video, Matt takes his truck and my truck, and we come through and we compare the two, and run lines in a not, I guess, less than ideal situation. But I want to post a video. I want you guys to see this video real quick, right here. There you go. That's what did it. That binding right there, that front servo, completely killed this thing. Now it made it through the remainder of the course. Again, go check out the video. But you can definitely tell that she was done. And I think I had something to do with that. So the servo that I have in here, I call it the Amazon Special. See if you guys can kind of see that up there as best you can. So basically, I'm trying to pronounce this thing. It's called the Kai. Let's see. The Zuske, if you will. I don't know. Anyways, it's a 25 kg digital servo. It's a great servo. It's like 18 or 20 bucks on Amazon, depending on where you get it from. Solid servo. It's great. It works very, very well. However, it does run its limits. I found the limits, and I think, again, it's my fault because I have changed the power plant on here. The most you can run on voltage on this thing is you have 4.8 to 6.8 volts. I have since bumped that up to 7.4 with the new power plant. I want to show you the new power plant, but we're in the comp season. I gotta hold off a little bit. For you guys who comp, I know you understand. Gotta hold off a little bit. But because I bumped it up, I'm thinking I'm running way too much voltage in this particular servo. It lasted, but when I bound it up, it got super, super hot, and then she faded away. So I think it's time that for a few more dollars, matter of fact, like $25. So this is what, $7 more, give or take. I bumped up and I stepped up to a different servo, one that I'm running on a brand new rig that I have yet to show, but from the same company. Check it out. So this is what we going in: the Power Hobby 190 MG digital servo, waterproof. Go over a few specs right here. Not worry about 6 volts. This is the range I'm gonna be running in, trying to show. So it's at 7.4 volts, 35 kg. We're in here is the 25 kg. A little bit more strength. It's a bit faster. I'm not necessarily too worried about the specs and all here as far as it being the main seller, because this servo did fantastic. I run this servo on all my rigs. It just so happened that I stepped up to a power plant that it's a little bit just too spicy for that particular servo. It's the ability to be able to hold here at 7.4 volts that really kind of caught my eye. And then again, to bump up to 8.4 volts, should that be necessary. The reason why I say should that be necessary, well, this is still running plastic knuckles. I got to be careful because I do have failure points built into that steering to avoid bigger problems, but I got to be careful. So this is really what I'm concerned with right here, 7.4 volts, because that's where I'm going to be running at. This is not a direct power servo, and it's a little bit more powerful. And I've had great success with the Power Hobby servo on the new rig that I've yet to show you guys. It's done great. So I figured, you know what, for a few more dollars, let me go and jump up to Power Hobby because I've enjoyed their product so far, and let's give them a shot. And no, this is not sponsored by anybody. This is just sponsored by my wallet, because that's what bought this. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and grab this thing and get that installed there. I would bring you guys along for the ride, but it's comp season. This lid is not coming off to show anything quite yet. But I'll go ahead and get this sucker installed, and we're going to go ahead and get on the trail, and that's where I'll catch up with you in a moment. Stay tuned. Alright guys, so I'm out here at my test spot, and I have the GoPro kind of pointed at that front axle because I really want to show you guys how I'm able to actually navigate this truck to an obstacle and not have that tire get pushed or deflect on obstacles. That servo was really holding very, very well, and I was very impressed. Now this is a new servo, of course, granted. Um, Throughout duration, throughout time, that might change. But as far as today, again, really putting emphasis on maneuvering the truck using that servo as much as possible to really show you guys how impressed I was with the servo throughout the run. So as you can see here, again, just really focus on showing you guys that front end and doing my best to work it, but not so much as frequency, but really trying to push the rig around and really trying to hit those obstacles. And you can see here, really just moving the rig around using the servo as much as possible. And you can see here I have the servo pitched to the left. Have those tires really using that sidewall to help guide me up there, and not once that servo fall back to the right. It stayed on track, stayed where I pointed it. I was very, very impressed. Now here's another line that I like to take. You can see here I'm using the wheels to help track me all the way through, and it's a steady climb with huge voids, and very easy for these small tires to get stuck in those voids. So I'm really using the servo to help push me and help navigate me and guide me through that obstacle. And you can see here that even going up on one wheel, she held straight, she tracked straight. Never once did she allow the obstacle to help push her over. I was in control the entire time. Just a little bump there. And you can see here, we're going to lean on that servo real good to help right ourselves. Nice and slow. Take it to the left a little bit, and we're going to hard pitch right. Here's our hard pitch right. Nice and slow. Nice and straight. Nice bump. Good job. Now this next one we're just cruising and just showing you guys, nice and slow and in control, how I'm really leaning left and leaning right on that steering and really navigating it through. Not once is the servo getting pushed over, and I want to keep emphasizing that. Just right there, that's bound up, turning left to right freely. Super impressed. The servo didn't fade, it didn't heat up, it just kept doing what I needed it to do. Just keep watching that front tire. Just everywhere I needed it to go, it did. Very, very impressed with that Power Hobby servo. Bound up, still able to turn. Now this is a little different for me. I wanted to go ahead and bash this thing around a little bit, just so you guys can see that this servo is holding up, and you can see where I'm not being gentle with this thing. I felt like the rock crawling was just a little too gentle for it, and against my better judgment, I wanted to give you guys just a run. I want you guys to see this thing working. So I'm doing my best to drive the living crap out of this Class 1. And as you can see, I think mission accomplished on this one. I'm not even caring about getting stuck. I'm just forward and reverse, left and right, trying to hit this thing as hard as possible. And just keep watching that front end dance on the small tires. Oh yeah, she's bucking around. Look at that. Now her coming around the most dramatic sense. Boom. I don't know. Steering still seemed good, nice and tight. I'm happy, very happy. Well, guys, what'd you think? Man, I really think this particular Power Hobby servo right here, this 190 MG, is definitely gonna be happy living in this rig. As you guys saw, we did a little bit of crawling with it, and after that, we took it out and did a little bit of bashing with it. The reason why I wanted to do both, because I really wanted you guys to see that this servo seemed to be pretty versatile. You can put in many different rigs. What I noticed on the rocks is that truly had enough power to be able to maneuver the rig over and really stay its line and really dig, and I could turn into obstacles where this little guy just didn't have the power to it. So again, only time will tell. But for a first impression, man, this Power Hobby Servo is definitely something I'm going to be considering putting in my rigs coming in, especially replacing RTR. This was $25. This little guy right here is $15, or give or take, you know. So for $10, you know, that's noticeable performance. I was able to see it. But don't get me wrong, these servos right here have lived in every single one of my comp rigs and also live in my other rigs. So it's a good servo. Think about it kind of like a Hobby Wing 1080 right here. You know, not the most fancy, but tried and true, gets the job done. This is going to be your fusion, you know, stepping up. But when you think about it, it's not as tried and true yet, at least in my opinion, as this guy right here, because I put and beat the hell out of this servo. But again, the power plant has been upgraded, and that's the reason why this servo has kind of, you know, maxed itself out. 6.8 right here, where she's able to handle 7.5 right here. So, and it worked out. It worked out. Guys, again, hope you enjoyed it. If this is your first time on this channel and you like what you see, please consider hitting that like button. Throw a comment down. And if you'd like to see more of this, consider hitting that subscribe button. If you're a returning subscriber, guys, I appreciate your support so much. You guys have helped grow this channel, and then I'm just so excited to see the interaction every single day, whether it be a comment, view, or whatever the case may be. I truly am having a blast hanging out with you guys, talking some RC talk, and I'm learning from you guys, and hopefully you guys are taking some of my information as well. Guys, until I see you on the next one, y'all be safe.